like a rape animal, but rather like a cozy cat or something more friendly. Rather unfriendly would be the traditions of the male cow, sorry, with a lion in some representations, and also, as we have seen in other mosaics, destroyed or not destroyed images. Here, the opposition in the Christian imagery from Madaba is as an opposing the forces of the animals, whereas here we have quite a different imagery. The zebu and the lion are drinking from a vessel, from a man-made vessel, which really brings them together, and from the same vessel the whole vine scroll springs up. Well, if this imagery is not somehow meaningful and not only an ornament, I don't know, my name would be Herr. The opposition of lion and Taurus appears quite often in the mosaics, and for the centaur, the Sagittarius, as the astrological form of it is named, we don't find really neither the bow nor an arrow, but the form, how his hands and arms are extended. It looks as if it was taken from such a Sagittarius form, but changed into a different image. Here, a little bit better to be followed. Well, and for lions, just two sorts of lions, I don't know, or a family of lions drinking from the vessel. I was recently presented by Katharina Meinecke, who will present the traditional images of these animals in late antiquity in our project, with a tombstone from Zagreb. A very similar positioning of the lions is visible. Even human figures or semi-human figures appear. Well, you may see their thin legs and sort of a bold figure represented within this scroll. The scroll which encircled in the mosaics some of these motifs, encircles a sort of a figure, which I could also call a faun, like a faun, not a real human. The legs are really very thin. I wonder whether one may call it like that. And in the end, we come, there's something rather similar in this, I don't know what Robert Schick says about it. Is it a normal human, or could it be half-human figure? Then the heads, represented in various marginal or frame bordure representations, and usually interpreted in the Christian context as depicting the four stages of the year, spring, summer, harvest, winter, and also in the Madaba Church of Cheder, so-called Cheder Church, these four heads are represented in the corners. Now, for the coming to the end, for the daring interpretation of the figurative program and the non-figurative program on the facade. If we understand it as to impress the Muslim and the non-Muslim subjects of the Caliph who may have passed by or approached the entrance, we might search for a meaning of this double appearance of nature represented in the fields. As suggested, the motives of both wings were known from representations in Christian religious buildings and also in some palaces perhaps, and the unanimated motives of the eastern wing alone appear also in Islamic religious architecture and in ancient Oriental representations. What if the ruling caliph wished to express more of his worldly power than the religious admonishment to avoid a possible competition with the creator, that is the normal accuse to artists representing figures? The typology of the king or ruler in the Quran is partly connotated somewhat negatively. The hybrid Nimrod and the oppressive Pharaoh are the main ruling figures. Heribert Busse, the Islamic scholar, has distinguished 4 types of rulers: the tyrant, the king installed by a prophet, that is Shaul, Talut in the Quran, or the queen converting to Islam by conviction, Balkis, the queen of Sheba. Finally, the prophet king, the kings David and Salomo, Suleiman. Of the older David, it is said that he ruled the unanimated nature. Mountains are given as an example, and the animated, like birds. Quran, Surah 21, verse 79, and with David we subjected the mountains to give glory and the birds. And his son Suleiman is characterized to have asked for more power after his repentance for a committed sin. He was doing a wrong judgment, as you know, in one case, and this is recorded in the Quran as well. He asked for more power, meaning over the whole cosmos below heaven. Quran 38, verse 34 following. He said, "My Lord, forgive me, and give me a kingdom such as may not befall anyone after me. Surely thou art the all-giver." Now, if we don't take it verbally, the characteristics of David and Suleiman, one can imagine, would fit a supreme claim of the caliph as a new type of ruler. The caliphs had to look for an Islamic form of their rule, as their legislative power from old Arab traditions was none, was zero. The power given in the Quran to the righteous kings was apparently the rule over the animated and the unanimated world. The animals and the human head on the western wing, now this is the final representation, the head should help you to detect it up here. The lion does not belong to it. Don't be afraid of this composite animal. It's separated. The animals and the human head in the western wing of the most visible wall of the caliph's palace, and on the other side, the unanimated scrolls with a few Sasanian imperial motifs on the eastern wing, could be taken to represent these two things in the world. Very hesitantly, one might even detect the mountains of the Quranic verse in the triangle forms. I don't want to insist on this, but just as an illusion. Without having to search for the ideological sources in the early Islamic period, the experimental recourse to the prophet king as models of their self-interpretation would help us to understand this new language. I wonder, I have several explanations for this, and surely you would ask for them, but I will just leave you with this impression. The idea behind it is that we should take serious the command of the Medinan society formed by the Prophet Muhammad, formed with the help of several representatives of the 3 religions in the region, should have been taken serious, even and especially in the surroundings of so forceful pre-Islamic traditions like in Byzantine provinces of Syria, Palestine, and Jordania. Thank you very much for your attention.
We're not going to have questions, but if any of you would like to come down and speak with the speakers, or go up to the galleries where we have 3 of the stones from Mashata and a torso of one of the women, and some of the photographs and drawings that the Germans have recently done, and they generously provided us to put on the labels. We look forward to your looking at the exhibition and thinking about all the issues we're raising now. Thank you.